Guys, what's going on? Welcome to Cereal at Midnight. My name is Heath, and in this episode of Cereal at Midnight, we are opening mail from you guys. Here's the truth behind the scenes. This is take two. It's all unboxed here. I was unboxing everything in this mail video, and it was just kind of terrible. Like the doorbell, right? Someone came to the door in the middle of it. The audio was terrible, and I'm scrapping it. So we're doing the whole thing. I've already opened this. I already know what it is, but I want to share the experience with you guys. Most importantly, I want the people that sent this stuff to have their kindness shared with the Cereal at Midnight community. So the first package that we opened came from, and it was anonymous. I have no idea who sent it. It's this DVD double feature, independent horror double feature, indie horror double feature of Dead Kansas plus An Hour to Kill. This comes from Alpha New Cinema, oldies.com. Dead Kansas is from 2013 and An Hour to Kill is from 2019. I don't know who mailed this, but whoever did, thank you very much. I appreciate it. The next package came from Jim Demick, our pal Jim, artist Jim Demick. We love the art that this cat creates, as far as he's got a Lucy, he's got Kurt Russell. I mean, look, there's just so much stuff. JimDemick.com. He's a Patreon supporter. He's a great guy, such a huge, kind heart. And he sent Godzilla versus Biollante, or if you speak Spanish, Godzilla versus Biollante. Oh, geez. This is, now Jim knows, because he's been following the channel for a long time. He knows that this is one of those that in the US has become very hard to find. And in my Godzilla spotlight video, I don't think I have it. It says, "Good day, sir. I have a letter. Good day, sir. I picked up this for your collection. As I mentioned a few weeks ago, I was watching your Godzilla collection video, and I noticed you were missing this one. As far as I know, you can't get this in any collections. It had to be ordered overseas. It is region free, though. Hope you enjoy, Jim." Now, I'll say this. I think this is a gray market release in the fact that it's manufactured on demand, and it's a burned DVD. It says it's Miramax. I don't think Miramax distributes things like that in the overseas market. I think it's probably a bootleg. I'm okay with this. I'm not complaining about those whatsoever. However, we have to, if availability becomes, if US availability for something dries up, we need to do what we have to do to see those titles. I don't advocate piracy in any way. I don't advocate... what I really don't like is when I see people paying other people to pirate things for them. If you're going to get into the file sharing, collector, back in the day you called it tape swapping, you do wrestling tape swapping and horror tape swapping, stuff like that. If you're going to get into that, I like the fan community that comes around that. I don't necessarily like people that try to charge $50 for something so they can burn it onto a disc. I don't know the circumstances behind this. Jim probably doesn't either, so I'm just going to say thank you very much, Jim. I'm happy to add this to the Godzilla shelf. There are so few Godzilla releases that are kind of closed off to us here in the United States that had a Blu-ray. It has a DVD and a Blu-ray from, I can't remember who it's from, but it's like the license has expired, I suppose, because it's been out of print for a long time, several years now. So I'm happy to have that Godzilla movie and be able to watch it whenever I want to now. This stack of discs here comes from Jonathan, who you may know as the Plaid X2 YouTube channel, PLAID X2 YouTube channel. Dude has great production values in his YouTube videos. I aspire to the level of production he puts into his stuff. He reached out to me on Instagram, I want to say it was, and asked if he had come into some titles, and he said that he was interested in them, but he knew that Cereal at Midnight would be very interested in them. And that's just, that was so kind, right? So the ones I asked, that I said, yes, I would love to have those for the Cereal at Midnight archives. You have to say it fancy. It's the archives, the lower wings, the upper wings, the rear archives. So we're kicking it off with Laurel and Hardy, March of the Wooden Soldiers, Babes in Toyland. This has been it's got a couple of different titles. This is, who put this out? This is Legend Films. It's 1934. They've got the color version. It's black and white originally, of course, 1934. It has that version and a colorized version. How do you guys feel about colorizing black and white content? I think you probably know how I feel. I'm kind of a stickler for preservation. Don't censor, don't alter, don't take away, don't cut away. But there's an argument that, Bree and I have talked about this. I think we talked about it in reference to I Love Lucy. There's an argument that by colorizing things, you're opening it up for people who would be opposed to black and white content. Has anyone ever been swayed by this? Any of you guys, you're like, I would never watch a black and white movie, but I'll watch a 1934 movie if it's been colorized. Is that a thing? I would love to get some feedback on this. Anyway, it's got some numerous special features here. Looks really, really well done. And a bonus Rudolph movie. They're really leaning into the Christmas magical angle of that. But I'm excited about it. I'm excited to have that. I have so many Laurel and Hardy DVDs and Blu-rays now. I don't have that. So adding that to the collection is a big... and I do plan to watch it. I'm not just collecting it so I can be like, there, it's one step closer. Laurel and Hardy's amazing. It's fantastic stuff. Ma Pa Kettle, the complete comedy collection. Now, I have no experience whatsoever with Ma Pa Kettle. I know about them. I feel like I should be a lot more versed in this stuff than I am. I know YouTuber Aaron Penn these movies mean a lot to him. I believe he has a history of watching this with family, and he kind of grew up watching these movies. I need to discover these, and so when the opportunity presented itself via Jonathan, I jumped on it. I was like, yes, I would love to check those out. So the Ma Pa Kettle collection. Murder, He Says. Fred McMurray, Helen Walker, 1945. This is a Universal manufactured on demand disc. Which, we've talked about this before. I won't get too far on a side street about this, but I used to be very against manufactured on demand stuff. Burned DVDs. But more and more as we get further into this physical media cycle that we're in, where streaming is the focus of just about everybody, I'll take it however I can get it. There's maybe manufactured on demand discs don't have the same lifespan that that factory pressed DVDs do. I think the jury's still out. I've got burned discs literally from the late 90s, and they still play fine. So we'll see about that. But I feel there's so many side streets I want to drive down. I won't do it. Murder, He Says, TCM, Turner Classic Movies, via Universal's on-demand service. This is the one that started the whole conversation. Oh, geez. It's the UPA Jolly Frolics collection. First of all, look at the style of animation that we're dealing with. We're dealing with 50s, 1948 to 1959 here. These are a list of the shorts that are included here. You can even pause and read this description if you want to. But basically, the Jolly Frolics collection, 38 theatrical cartoons released between 1948 and 1959. Originally distributed by Columbia Pictures, the cartoon shorts produced by UPA, United Productions of America, were revolutionary, adopting the contemporary graphics of modern design and offering non-traditional provocative storytelling. So outside the box animation, more modern styling. You think of Alvin and the Chipmunks, right? Not the 80s Chipmunks, but the OG early 60s, the mid 60s Chipmunks. That's the Friz Freleng kind of stuff. There's a very specific animation kind of deviated and got this very pop, very modern sensibility. This is a collection of a ton of that stuff, 38 cartoons. It's a 3-disc set. These are also manufactured on demand. The purple disc surface. But look, these wouldn't exist if not for being manufactured on demand. I don't think this is mainstream and interest enough to sell many copies. So I am just grateful that we have the opportunity to pick this stuff up at all. That's where I stand on it. So thank you to Jonathan. Check out the Plaid X2 YouTube channel. And long live movie preservation. Jonathan is really doing great. Just talking about it and means a lot. That's what I'm saying. It means a lot. So this last stack, we're talking about comics. This comes from Jason. It's Jason H. And it is of the Ollie's Persuasion. Dear Heath, I did open the comic mystery pack to bag and board them. You can see why I chose them. Dick Tracy. I threw in a Wolverine and Deadpool graphic novel for fun. Do what you will with them. Shades of Aleister Crowley there, Jason. Doest thou willst. Thanks for the laughs, info, tips, and alerts. Mostly thanks for the positive community, Jason. So, Jason, thank you so much. He sent a bevy of comic book goodness. So, it's one of those comic book grab bags, right? Like you get a selection of comics in a pack for $5.99. This is the winner, in my opinion. Dick Tracy Adventures, 1991. After the Dick Tracy movie, the I guess maybe failed Touchstone Disney Dick Tracy movie, Warren Beatty, Madonna. There was like a second golden age of Dick Tracy. Stuff was everywhere, and this kind of comes out of that. It didn't last long, but I loved it. Kronos, the Destiny of Kronos, number 9. Checkmate, number 2. Some OG DC goodness right there. Digitech, Marvel's Digitech, number 2 of 4. Hybrids Revengers Special. This is number 2. Yeah. I gotta track down the others on these now because it looks cool. Victorian. I don't know what label this is. Jim Steranko did the cover. It's a number 1. So Victorian. The New Teen Titans number, is it 48? Yeah, number 48, New Teen Titans. Check out that Starfire cover. The Hammer and the Sickle. Hostage. Marv Wolfman. Oh, good stuff. Hawk and Dove, number 24. That's Hawk and Dove was amazing. I think a lot of people found Hawk and Dove via the Titans series, the streaming series. And I was super resistant. I've talked about it before. Super resistant to Titans. I thought they were trying too hard to be dark, which is something that I accuse a lot of DC properties of, is that they're trying very hard to, this ain't your daddy's DC Comics. Except it kind of is. They really did a great job with Hawk and Dove on the Titans series. Love that stuff. Prophet, number 2. This may not be the cool thing to say for all the hip comic loving kids. I thought Prophet was fantastic back in the day. I don't remember if it started. Well, it's been a long time since I've read some of these early issues, but Rob Liefeld created Prophet, and it was very much like style over substance, as was in all comics from this era were style over substance. But he was doing things with like as the character began to progress, like he was immortal. It was like Highlander, and he'd been around since the time of Christ as like a Roman soldier, and he was this curse of immortality. It got very, very cool. And I have a soft spot for Prophet. And then last but not least, Fantastic Four, House of M, number 3 of 3. So Jason bagged and boarded these. That's amazing. So these can go right in the long box after they get read. And then there's more. We're talking about Ollie's graphic novels here. Deadpool's Secret Wars. So I do have this already. I have read this. This is going to go in the prize box for you guys. One of you guys is going to end up with this at some point. It's, Secret Wars is one of the original comic book crossovers for Marvel, probably you could argue, but gave us the black suit Spider-Man. So much stuff came out of this. And Deadpool was, of course, he had not been invented when Secret Wars was published. So this is a comic book that kind of goes back and retroactively places Deadpool in the Secret Wars. It's a lot of fun. And for those of us, like I am the Secret Wars generation, I had the action figures in the 80s. It came with the shields, with the lenticular art, and you could turn the shield and see different images. I loved it. Wolverine, Japan's Most Wanted. Jason Aaron. Love Jason Aaron's. I love anything that Jason Aaron is a great talent. I think he's a great asset to comics. So there's that one, and then this is how this whole thing started too. Is I was looking for this because Ollie's what shows up in one store does not necessarily show up in all stores, and It's regional, depending on what stores get what. I wanted this so bad. It's the Enchanted Tiki Room comic from Marvel. By the way, without getting political, you guys, who thinks that it's just a matter of time before Enchanted Tiki Room gets a huge overhaul? Kind of, you know, they already overhauled it once in the 90s and they made it under new management, right? It's got to be a matter of time. Just with all the accents and different birds in that room, I can see. Oh, I think the Enchanted Tiki Room is not long for this world. I love it. It's one of my favorite Disney attractions. I'm a big Tiki fan. Jason said this hits me on multiple levels, and he's absolutely right. The Disney level, the 60s kitsch level, the Tiki element. I mean, look at this. I mean, that is Cereal and Midnight all over. So Marvel did a few of these. They did one for Figment, the character from the Journey into Imagination attraction over at Epcot. For a while, he was the mascot of Epcot for a long time. Maybe once again he is as well. But Figment, the little purple dragon that represents imagination. They did, I think, 2 miniseries with Figment. And they did a Big Thunder Mountain comic. I didn't even know about this one, to be perfectly honest with you guys. Maybe I did know and I just kind of forgot about it because information falls out so quickly now. I'm so excited to have this. I'm thrilled with what has been sent here. I'm thrilled with the kindness of our friends out there. So thank you to everyone that sent something here. Thank you so much. It's so humbling, and it's you guys are so generous, and you're so multiple Patreon supporters here. Jason, Patreon supporter. Jim Demick, Patreon supporter. It means a lot, and it means a lot you guys are watching this video. The reason we do this, the reason we do these mail videos on camera, is that we want to share the experience, that sense of community. It's not just for us. It's not just for me and Bree, it's for all of us. We can all, enjoy talking about this stuff, kind of live through the videos, right? You know what I mean? So it means a lot. Thank you guys for watching. Continue the conversation in the comments below. What have you read? What have you seen? Let me know down below. And until next time, thank you so much. Until next time, I will catch you later.